Okay. So let's get started. Long time no see. Let's get started. Yay. God, man. Okay, so let's get to go. That's good to go. How much am I down to? 6. That sucks. But let's get started. Back to the legs, why don't we? While I'm at it, mark my my positive lines. So those will be my neutrals. And those separated for the time being. Those will be my positives. All right. Back to working on the legs. I don't know if I have enough LEDs for the... Yeah, I'm probably going to run out of LEDs because I don't think those are purples. Let me double check those. For the funnels, I might have to hold off on even trying to get those started. These should take a decent amount of time. No, those should be pinks. Yeah, those are pinks. Okay. Those are still pinks. All right. That means I have... like 8 left? 8 of 50 left still? Yeah. 8 of 50. Yeah. Damn. About 8 of 50 left. Cool. Awesome. Wallace, thank you for the likes. So, we're going to be working on the legs this morning. I need to get them detailed up and also armored up. Ooh, you want to be a piece of crap today. Thank you. So, first form of business, we did all that. Oh, there's still some frame pieces that need to go on. That I didn't do because I was rushing to get the lights done and get legs assembled at the most part. So, I still actually need to see. And I know we're getting a lot of time in between actually doing stuff, but that is to help keep me a little more calm at the moment. Things aren't going great, and I know that's weird to hear from somebody. It's just because shit be going wrong, and I'm not in the best of moods at the moment. So I'm trying to make sure that I don't do things that I don't think I would like to do. Such as doing things too much. That will make me end up not liking them anymore. I actually really like this model kit. What up, Leo? Sorry if I'm not on Discord this morning. I just... no. 2627. 2627. Oh, where is my nippers? There they are. And thank you, Dust, and thank you, Leo, for the likes. Alright. Now that technically is a frame part. Do I need 12 and 13? I think I do. Yes, I do. Get them cut off now. So that one, that's something. No, we'll just cut that right there. Keep that on the desk. That's the C parts done and done. I actually think that's the polycap piece for the leg, actually. Well, the joint part for the leg. Oh god, It's so cold outside. I'm stuffed up a little bit, so I'm going to be sniffling all morning long. And then we need eye after I get those trimmed up and ready to go, right? Oh, yep, and that is also, yep, those are all the ball joint pieces. Okay, cool. That's actually an interesting way of doing the leg. Wait. Oh, that is actually neat. So instead of having a regular just peg into, what's it called? So yeah, peg into slot for the legs to interact into the joint, we get... No, it is regular pegging joint. The ball joint goes into the... That's still weird. That's still weird to have a ball joint going into the actual leg itself. That actually will give a little bit better articulation, but it can also loosen up over time. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it can come into play a little bit different later on. Oh boy. My knife is over by the... Shit. I forgot to bring the knife. I might have to go get that. The hobby knife is over by the... What's it called? Over by the stupid 3D printer because I was using it to clean up some prints. I will be right back. Of course I didn't. Floof is taking your knife. Right! Nah, I left it over on my 3D printer. Cleaning up some stuff for a bit later. I'm kind of leaning hard into that bit that I've got going so far. It's fun. Doesn't take a whole lot of effort, just takes me sitting down and doing stuff. Okay, so which way is that supposed to go on the leg? The larger part goes towards the front. Alright. Good way of understanding how it interacts with the leg. Right? Why at? What up? Thank you for the likes, man. If I can ever get Falcon finished up, which shouldn't take too damn long, all I've got left is the funnels. The funnels really shouldn't be too long, it's just doing the funnels, which is the hard part. Once that's done, I don't know what model kit I might do next. All depends on my mood. It was supposed to be the blue frame, but I don't know. The DeBam blue frame is one that I just got in, but there are a lot of nice things coming soon. Got things on order coming very soon. We may have to start getting some of those prepped. If I want them to be finished on time. The Moses is waiting on 2 pre-orders that are supposed to be coming eventually. Do a Digimon. I actually have a War Greymon. I just haven't done it because it's a standard. I've been trying to get my hands on an amplified Black War Greymon, but damn is that thing always available when I don't have money, and the cost right now is pretty high. I don't know what it is about Black War Greymon, but it's like, I love that color scheme so much better than normal Greymon. But I do have the standard. Which it'll be just like Pokepla basically for me, so it'll be a regular just cut and go. I heard the standard the standard is pretty basic, which isn't too bad. I don't mind a basic kit as long as it goes together well. All right, and then I need I, L, and then I've already got the C parts cut out, so I and L. That is D. What were the ones I had on my K and E? K. That would be A. I do need eyes. That actually almost finishes out I. And that's probably a knee part that I got to get out of here as well. Okay. That actually is. I actually know exactly where that goes. Because on the back side of that, those knee parts. Which I can get those already done now, since I know where those go. Ah, Beelzemon, yo. Beelzemon's supposed to be pretty good. I would have loved if they would have had an expanded version that comes with this motorcycle, which would be actually even more cool. And that's the other K. H. M. L? Oh yeah, I already did I. Now I need L. Derp. Weird part. 5 and 6. 5 and 6. I was doing the Pokeballs for a series, but that didn't work out very well. I got stuck on doing one too fancy, and I should have just done it fast. It's fine. Ah, the shotgun's the Wargreymon. Oh, goddamn, right? That's funny. And those go over top of that. That's going to be my end stop for the knee, it looks like. Actually, am I... Oh, no, I am wrong. Oh, my. Huh. I would have thought the short part would go in the back. I mean, go in the front. And I am absolutely wrong on that. Did I put those on wrong? Double check. I swear I put those on right. No, I did not. I put those actually on backwards. It actually goes the short one in front. I'll have to change that on the other one as well. That kind of blows. What a non-reform way to do that. Easy. I can actually show it because I've got this one pretty much ready to go. It is the Supernova Hunting Falcon. It's their own kind of creation. It's kind of based on a seed/wing kit. And it's a much different kit than most. Creeper as long as I could. Yeah, nope, not a problem, dude. Talk at some point. This kit's great. Yeah, duh. Yo, man, once I can get the full wiring going on it, I really want to do a full load test. A full load test will be really great on it. I've done a partial load. I have not done a full load yet. The partial load test did pretty well. Not exploding yet, so we're not drawing too much power just yet. Give me enough time. We still got like 20 LEDs to go. Because I probably need to order more. Yeah, not getting into politics. Wrong fucking place to come into, man. Here's my thing. I don't care about politics. Ugh. I honestly don't care. I don't make enough count or matter. And none of it actually affects me most of the damn time. I don't have kids. I don't have loans. I pay my taxes. And that's about fucking it. I don't have student loans. I don't got none of that. None of that really affects me day to day. And it ain't getting any cheaper. Trust me. I keep, unfortunately, making that mistake of making it harder for myself. I'm so glad I never got into that. All right, that looks good. I mean, I dodged a bullet on. I was supposed to go to Wyotech. I was getting scouted for it back in high school. I had the best grades and honestly was doing the best in my freaking automotive engineering class. I was supposed to go to an engine build-off, but yeah, nope. I didn't have enough grades for it. It was just right when I was slipping a bit. Mostly due to family shit and having to take over, trying to keep shit going right. Which, honestly, I did kind of dodge a bullet there, too. The car industry died after that, because I did work in it for a little bit. And then got laid off during the 08 crash. For almost a year. And I wasn't even doing service stuff. I was doing repaint and retouching with Mako. And honestly, I would have I would have never took that job. I should have done something different with my life. But I honestly did not think I was a person who I didn't know I was going to be really good with electronics. Honestly, never thought I was that good with electronics back in the day. Nowadays, I'm such a Sparky, it's not even funny. Gundam food truck, right? No, this is not a custom build. This is a hunting falcon from Supernova. It's one of their latest ones. It's a original piece by them. The only thing custom about it is that it will light up because it's got all these fun clear effects on it. So we can show it off one more time. That should be within frame. And kind of just trying to get it to look nice at this moment. I've got most of the parts going. He's pretty much ready to start standing up on his own as soon as I get these legs done. Just lots of fun armor bits to go for. Oh, and the Falcon's got a nice assortment of weapons. I cannot wait to get the funnel started, but they're going to take a while because I think there are 4 of them and they have a lot of parts to each of them. Plus getting the effect parts lit up correctly. We're going to be doing 2 on the backpack, 2 deployed. Kind of reminiscent of my new Gundam Vladracus build, where I have... How many funnels do I have deployed on that? I have 4 funnels deployed, 6 stored. Yes, they are. There are... what is it called? Panzer Schneider, and then there is also a Jaeger down bottom, with also a Republic stealth unit. And then the big red frame right there, that's a big giant custom. It's basically a red frame with every accessory part you can go under the sun. He's still under repair at the moment because he's got a big old flight pack that's being assembled at the moment. It's already halfway there. I mean halfway in that I've got most of the parts all ready to go. It's just getting the whole thing done and ready to go. It was just a lot of work, and there's still more to go on that one. I have not sat down and worked on that one in a bit now. If you're on Twitch, you should be able to see the 148 scales behind me. I've got them all lit up for the most part. I've got a nice shelf space for them to sit and also have their power supplies running. Can you please go on? Oh, that would help if that was set correctly. I do like so far that I haven't had to do a lot of correctional work to this so far. I'm on Twitch, YouTube, and on TikTok all at the same time. It's a lot funner that way. I use YouTube as a permanent backup, and Twitch is where my mainstream is. We have music and fancy lights and graphics. I used to be able to put it on TikTok, but they took my ability to use their stupid streaming app away because they're very stingy with that. And you hear me, TikTok. I know you do. Give back my ability to use your actual streaming platform. It wasn't bad. It was just... It's a little young. It needs more work. But it's not bad. same name as I use the same name on every platform for this channel. It is Vladracus on just about every platform. And I have had 3 hours of sleep and I feel great. Because I drank so much caffeine and coffee last night. Cool. And primarily, for the most part, I'm only streaming on the weekends. The last couple weekends, I've only been streaming on Sunday. But I'm going to try to get back into the groove of also doing Saturday, Sunday, and maybe Fridays. Back to my old schedule. Since everything's kind of fallen through lately. No idea, man. No idea on the political pop-up ads. Yo. All right. All right. Yo. TikTok being all the more about midterm election blog. Yeah, black. God, I cannot wait for that shit to just blow over finally. It's like, we get it. You all are so obsessed with it. I'm done with it already. I was done before it even started. Here's my vote. I don't care. None of what I think matters. And it's only going to affect me in passing. So, nah. I'm not worried about it. Let's see. You look good. All right. Which way do you go in? She'll only go in one way. It is shaped for it. So definitely not that side. and over and over. It's all rich dudes lying to make them more common. No one cares. Exactly. That is exactly why I don't care either. It's not even funny or interesting. It's just boring, blah, 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 old guy, blah, 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 blah. Yay, and that battery's completely fucking dying now. Not too long. Usually, it all depends on the model kit and the complexity. Something like this one, it is more of akin to an older 90s EW slash seed kit. So lots of empty space, lots of room to work with. I don't have to really design too many fancy wiring harnesses. There's nothing like really hard. There hasn't been really too much really hard soldering going on. And I haven't had to do too much fancy, stupid things to do like I've done in the past. So about the average, about a month or so. If I'm really working on it hard, if I'm working on it like, shit. If I'm working on it like I usually would do, we're going to say like working 2 or 3 days out of the week, plus weekends, and that's 5 to 6 hours a piece. I can do a full one in about a month. But that's not also the cost on the LEDs and everything, but it's not too hard. And I don't do anything fancy. I'm just doing pure DC voltage to the LEDs. It's either DC 5 or DC 3 volts. At about an amp is usually what it's going at. And that's good enough for the LEDs I use. Except if I use some of the more powerful ones like the UVs or the blues, where they want 5 volts at an amp because they like power and they are very power hungry. But then there's stuff like the new Verka that took 2.5 months with 6 months planning. That took for fucking ever. Never doing that kind of style big boy again. Or something like the twin 00 Gundams. Those took about 6 months, but I also had an injury in between there. So they took a lot longer, unfortunately. Due to my own negligence. Thank you. Don't tell me those were directional too, because those are glued in place. No, just being a piece of shit. And then once I get this one done, it'll only be about a day or so in decaling, and then it'll be done. Yeah, the problem with the electric paint is getting it to work correctly. That'll be really hard to do. Be fun to try, but I don't know how well I'll be able to do it. You put me way too high up there. And the reason why the LEDs are, I use the ones I use Powerfuls. He is a seller on Amazon. I can actually show one off if I grab one. They're very specific, and there's a very specific reason why I like these. That is the LEDs I use. You can see how small that is, both here and there. They are very small, very tiny LEDs, because they can fit in just about everything, but they aren't the smallest. These are 603s, not 803s. 803s usually come on soft line. And that's the problem I don't like about them, is that soft line you can't really do much with, and it's very prone to tearing and ripping. And it's a multi-core, so it's a little harder to solder to. Where these ones from Powerful use a solid core wire that is just resin covered, which is a lot easier to work with. I have no problems doing complicated solder patterns with these. I've done a lot with these over time, and they're just more reliable. They do have a failure rate of 75% if you're not being careful, where you will desolder the pad or burn the LED out. But once you get kind of the feel for these, they're actually my favorite LEDs to use. I've been using them for over 5 years now. They're very small but very bright LEDs. They're SMD soldered LEDs, but they're really great for the application I use. And then I just use solid magnet wire as my extensions whenever I do anything. Great stuff. Never has a problem. And as long as you're paying attention, you don't really have to worry about insulating unless you absolutely need to insulate. Because that wire is pretty much well insulated when it comes off. Okay. We got that. I can be somewhat sloppy here, but it doesn't need to be completely bad. One of the best projects I just recently did was the big Sosby 148 scale, no, 135th scale Sosby bust. I had put that thing off for a good long while. I think I put that off for about 3.5, 4 months. And I just thought it was going to be a little bit more complex than it was. It actually turned out to be a really easy build with a very simple wiring diagram, and even went a little bit above and beyond on it. But it still turned out to be one of my favorite builds recently. Yeah, no, I can still look at it and say it was actually really good. The lights turned out great on it, even though I didn't have the spot lamps that came with it. We did make something work. Took a little bit of engineering know-how and a little bit of prowess of going, I know what I'm doing, but man, am I not great at it. I just got to get decals done on that. I just have not taken the time to get it finished up, which I need to. Yeah, and the unicorn bust both need to be decaled up. Try to get these legs done, and then I will have to look at the funnels and see how much LEDs I really need, because I may need a lot more than I have. Time to order a million LED packs. Oh, dude, trust me. I've probably been like the one person who's buying from that guy a lot. Probably the only reason why he still even sells some. One of the reasons why, because I just buy so many from him all the damn time. It was hard during the friggin' pandemic. He didn't have a whole lot. Which did suck on getting them in a orderly fashion. Oh, and Leo, I don't know if you've, I don't know how much of Overlord you've watched, but I just finished all the way up to the what's available so far. Was not impressed by season 4. Really felt that was a whole change of pace for the series. I liked it all the way up till season 4. Was really getting into the groove of it being pretty decent. She bringing you more food, I'm guessing. Okay. What is holding me up on that? There it goes. If 12-course breakfast and once lunch. Oh God, wow. Damn. See, I'm trying to starve mine out at the moment. Try to get back on track to looking good again, because I was feeling great till we were trying to move and then getting back on the streaming shit. I'm not as bad as I was, luckily. Getting close, but not as bad as I was. So I feel that. How if I give mine a little bit of a kick to back up where I want it to be? Oh, don't do that, please. Okay. And what's after that? Oh, then we do the part that I was actually looking at. No, we do that part next. Okay. Then we go for that next one. All right. Then upper thigh, or was I already supposed to do that? I was already supposed to do that. Okay. Never mind. We'll do that next. And Zekin, thank you for the likes, dude. Omega, hello.
This whole story began developing 2 days ago. And from that point on, these terrible events kept on snowballing in a reign of terror that has not abated. The main advice news reporters have been able to get from official sources is to tell private citizens to stay inside their
I
homes
wonder.
behind locked doors.
I wonder if that would work. Oh, we need some RCA cables to test something. I just thought of something, Leo. I probably could get it to where I have the desktop audio going through that subboard of mine. If I was to use my RCA output. Yeah, that would actually work. Shit. And that way I can get rid of that microphone above me for the TikTok stuff. And then I could just use this one. Just thought of that. I did not think of that beforehand. Better audio? Yeah. Instead of using the $50 mic, we can use the $600 mic, plus also have the stream music going. Because I would just be capturing desktop audio, which is what comes into the line in from the output. And it would make it so I could actually capture Discord if I'm on Discord. I'll have to look at it later. I have to get some RCA cables anyways. All right. Because surprisingly, that's the only cabling I don't have in my possession at this moment. There's some old school RCA cables. Ain't too bad so far. Thank you, Zelik. So far, the hunting falcon looks fine. I like the idea of it. Kind of like the idea of it because of the fact it has beam tomfas. I'm a sucker for beam tomfas. Wrist blades, tomfas. They always look so nice on a Gundam. And so few actually do it. It is the hunting falcon from Supernova. And thank you, Nightwolf90, for the sub. Jeez. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, back up to 7. Love it. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. I might be able to actually get this sound onto the TikTok's freaking thing. And follow, and haven't heard Monkey Boy go off yet. Because my audio's been delayed lately. It is the Hunting Falcon from Supernova. It's a very nice model. It's their own rendition of a model kit. There's the monkey going off. Don't know why freaking sound alerts are being so delayed nowadays. They used to be simulant. They used to go off as soon as they went off. I need to figure out if there's something I can change on that. It is 1/100. Almost all third-party model kits are mostly master grade. Some are perfect grade. Supernova mostly does only master grade size, so they're all 1/100. You can be more on frame. There are some perfect grades from Daban, but not too many. Can't put those on just yet. I gotta do the detail work on that. Okay. Fine. What did I need now? E. I need to go back to E. I need the upper thigh parts for E. E. What were them again? 5 and 4. Okay. And this is also like this is not the biggest model kit I have from third parties. I have some monster kits that I just have not built yet because they are scary size model kits. The Death Stinger, the Daban Avalanche Dash, and the Snow White Prelude. Those are monster kits that I'm not scared of. I am just taking my time on getting to at some point. Especially the Snow White Prelude. I have been putting that off for a while because I want to do it really, really well. I have a lot of stuff for it. It's just getting the time to put it together is going to take a while. I'm probably going to be looking at about 2 to 3 months working on that whenever I get started on it. because I have a Cosmos lighting kit, and I want to do custom paint on it. And the custom paint is what's going to kill me. A 1/20th. I have a 1/48. I have 1/35. I was supposed to do a 1/25th scale wing, but I don't know if that's going to happen at any point soon. Just due to some things going on that I probably won't get that one actually printed because of issues. So that was supposed to be a printed resin kit. I have the files still, but I was going to have it printed in resin. Yeah, 2 to 3 months on the Snow White Prelude because it's a very large kit. The base kit usually takes someone around 2 to 3 weeks just to build. And I'm going to be doing full, I'm going to be doing a full repaint of most of the parts. I'm going to be retouching up a lot of the color parts that I just don't like. There are some really ugly brownish gray parts I don't like on there. Retouching all the silver, and then I'm going to be doing a pearlescent semi-gloss top coat over top of it for the entire model kit. So I'm looking about... What am I in? I'm in already about 400 on that kit. With the Cosmos lighting kit and getting the kit here, I'm already at 400 on that. I'm looking at about another $200 to $300 in paint alone, plus time, which is probably going to be about 300 to 400 hours. It's going to be one of the longest kits I've ever done. And I've been almost a year in progress getting that ready. Getting it concepted and also theorized. Usually I don't go too big like that. I don't like doing full repaints. Some of the ones I've done repaints on were like the gold frame real grade. I repainted the entire inner frame in a nice gold leaf pen. And then something like the real grade Sinanju, I redid that whole thing in a semi-gloss finish instead of doing the gloss. That didn't take too long, but that was very simple work. The work for the Snow White Prelude will be long. With also doing a full detail work, especially with the paints being over top, that usually takes me a little longer because I then have to use different accenting styles to get the effect that I want. And later, Zeke. Third-party kits you recommend? Anything from Daban or Supernova? If you're going to go for a Dragon Momoko, try the high-resolution line. They're actually really good. Third-party kits aren't bad. It's the stigma. All it is the stigma around third-party kits. People think that you're being mean to Bandai, but you're just telling Bandai you want something better than what they're offering. I mean, I get they own the license, but I mean, there are some model kits that are ethereal rarity because of the fact that they don't exist in Bandai's repertoire, and at this present moment, League of Toy Store and Gundam Model Center have just about everything you're looking for in third-party kits. And once those kits are gone, they are gone for a very long time, and they're not coming back. Some of them include the big boy that I've got sitting here, which is the red frame powered red, which is only a metal build from Bandai. Same thing with the Amatsumi Nahana. So that's the 8814 from Daban and the 8826. I also have a 6614, which is the Daban blue frame, which is based on the metal build that has all these really nice particle effects. So you can launch missiles out of its little rocket launchers, which only comes with the metal build itself. There's no other blue frame master grade that has that setup. So it's really, really, really nice. It does make for competitional growth because they have a monopoly on the Gundam IP. There is no growth. Their only competition they really have is Kotobukiya. And Kotobukiya is there. Kotobukiya is there, but they also don't... Their lines are sub to Bandai, where I think they're more in line with the third parties themselves. Because their kits are hit and miss. Kotobukiya's can be great, but they can also be terrible. I've had my mixed feelings on Kotobukiya kits. They aren't as high quality as some of these third-party kits can be. Like the one I'm working on right now, Supernova does a great job of being very nice entry-grade kits to third parties. You usually don't have to do too much. There's only one variation of their models that you really have to do a lot of work for, and that's just because it's an older one, and that's the Sandrock Custom, the Sandrock Mokai. That one has fitment issues. It's the mold itself has problems. But everything else from them is super amazing. You don't have to do much touch-up work if you don't need to. You can snap them together. They're really great. The Nitaku, the Wing, the Heavy Arms, which comes in both Heavy Arms Igil, Heavy Arms Custom, and Heavy Arms Custom Igil itself. So really awesome that you can get that. There's the Death Scythe Hell that they've done. And it's a really great kit from what most people talk about. Their Zoids line is really great. I've done 2 of their Zoids. I need to do the last one. I've done the Mugen. And, yeah, I can't ever remember the red one's name. But I also need to do the blue one. But I also have the Kotobukiya Death Stinger, which is actually more close to the actual scale of a Death Stinger. Very large, very huge model kit. I have never had problems with the Supernova Zoids. I even did the clear Mugen. And it was great. I was really fearing that polycarbonate being really shitty. But it was weird. It was really actually kind of nice. I didn't have really too many shatters. The cleanup wasn't too bad. I actually felt kind of good about it. Nice. Snow White Prelude. Yo. I don't see the problem with third-party kits. And I've also done the Sturm Tyrant. The Sturm Tyrant was so good because they fixed a couple of the issues that goes wrong with the HMM Sturm Tyrant. But it still felt really good. I mean, you literally put them side by side and it looks like a Kotobukiya kit. It's just blue and it has a Berserk, has the, god damn, not the Berserk Fury. Damn it, I can't remember what the other one's name is. Has the horn from that one, and it's just like, there's really, really not a good big difference between Kotobukiya and Supernova's quality. They're about on par. And actually, my red Sturm Tyrant from Kotobukiya has a little bit of loose leg syndrome. I need to go back and tighten the legs up. The one from Supernova is actually doing really well, where the Kotobukiya is aging a little poorly. And the bus, oh my god. Where do I buy that Gundam? GMC, which is Gundam Model Center, and we also have League of Toy Store, which is on AliExpress. I've never had that problem with Supernovas having joint issues. Never really had that issue. I'm trying to think. My wing was perfectly fine until I ruined it by using the wrong type of panel liner on it. This one's having no problems at all. That was actually like super fucking tight just a few minutes ago. My Nitaku has no problems. My... we could say the Heavy Arms has a little bit of loose arm, but those cannons are very heavy. And really, the Sandrock doesn't have joint issues. It had fitment problems. I have never really had too much. Oh, no. Okay, Captain, that's where you're messing up. Don't force parts on third-party kits. Ream out the holes. Just do a light reaming with something like a knife or with a pin drill, and then it'll fit way better. Like, this one hasn't had that many problems with fitment. I wouldn't be surprised at the Supernova wing having that. It was a little bit of a tight kit. But that's the thing I will tell everyone about... if it falls out now, add a little bit of super glue to it. let it dry, and then sand it. Sand it till it starts feeling good again. You can always use a little bit of super glue to tighten a joint back up. And you're going to use it where you put the joint in as the super glue's in there. Don't stop moving it till it feels tight again and it continues to move without issues. But you can always do it the reverse way, which is where you put it on the joint, let it dry, and then sand it down as it feels better and you're able to move it better without it being too loose. Same thing I say on all third-party kits. All third-party kits, you need to be ready. These are... Never anticipate them being perfect. They are third-party. But they can be great if you're ready to anticipate it. Did run into an issue with the gold frame. There were some parts that didn't actually technically work, but I think it's a holdover from the metal build. I did have to clip them off. I mean, the wings still look great. They just don't lock in like they're supposed to. But the part didn't actually work. Kind of a holdover from it being a metal build. Still looks great. Still can hold great poses. I need to tighten up the wings a little bit. They're a little heavier than I thought they were going to be, so I didn't tighten them up. I need to tighten the joint on that so the wings can be a little bit more articulated. But other than that, that model kit is like amazing for a gold-plated kit. Tight as all hell, but you have to be very careful on something like that one. I had to go and remount all the connectors because that gold plate was grabbing a little bit too hard, and we did have an oopsie with the other gold arm that I was going to use. And ended up using the Blitz arm. What's priced on this Gundam's about 70, I think usually 65, 70, but mostly they're pretty cheap. Unless you're going for like the really big model kits, they're pretty well priced, anywhere between $40 to $60 for most third-party kits. When you get into the bigger ones, including the perfect grades and some of the really more fancy model kits, you will run into the $100, $200 range, but they're not overly priced. I mean, the 8814 from Daban, if it was actually in Bandai's hands, which obviously the metal build is, we're looking at like 300 probably plus. It would be a P Bandai, 300 plus. I mean, the metal build runs $600 to $1,200, so I mean, it's really a bargain kit when you can get it for 200, and that's just covering your shipping and the cost. It's usually about a $150 kit. That's actually a good price. It's running a little bit higher with shipping. Currently, League sells the Supernova Snow White about 200, but that's because that's your shipping cost is about $45, $50. Very large kit, so it needs a very large box of shipping. And that's an insane model kit for $150. I mean, with all the parts you get and the size of the box alone, I have the actual retail Snow White Prelude box. It's larger than the perfect grade Zaku I have. It's larger than the perfect grade Zaku box. Oh, man, that sucks. The Nitaku is one of my favorite ones from the Supernova line. I've had no issues with that. I added a little bit of paint to get the dragon heads to actually articulate. Works great, still awesome. Have had no problems with the Nitaku. Well, the Nitaku slash Ultron. Ultron being the white version, Nitaku being the green version. I don't have the green one, I have the blue one. I like the blue one better. I could have got the green one. Cookie, thank you for following. Oh no! I really love the look of that one. It's one of my favorites. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so that is an actual really good thing to talk about, Captain, too. If you guys are watching, you see me using this. It's a Sharpie. That's how I panel line third-party kits. Lots of third-party kits use ABS plastic. ABS plastic does not work with pore liner. It contains acetone. Acetone eats ABS. And I ruined a first run Supernova Wing Zero because of the fact I was using pore liner. I ruined a $600 Gundam nowadays. If I was to buy the exact first run, you can find a third run full color for about $200 or $300, but that was a first run of the Wing Zero custom from Supernova that comes with the stand and all the fun parts. But I learned that day, no more using Pore Liner. I have really come accustomed to using Sharpies. I love them. Sharpies are a lot easier. I get better, crisper lines. I can control my flow, and I can control my hard line rate. It's all I ever use on mostly everything, including Bandai kits. I don't care if it's not ABS. I have had too many issues. I also had it happen to I was trying to tighten up the arm joint on my XN, my 00 GX. No, yeah, my 00XN riser, which is a P Bandai kit. Was just trying to tighten up the arm joint. It was really loose. And apparently the blue they use on that is also ABS. And I crumbled an entire XN riser chest piece because of it. Because I used, a Gundam paint marker to try to tighten up the arm joint. That really didn't help. And, yeah, that sucked. Because then I had to go and try to find a riser, which ended up me buying a 007 sword and a 00 riser to then make it so that I could make my XN riser be fixable. And now I have the twin 00 risers. I only use Sharpies. It's just so much easier. I use one of these double-ended ones, which has an ultra fine and a fine, or then I use a regular fine and ultra fine. With alcohol, 99% is the best. You can use 75, but you're gonna have a lot harder time. 99 will clear off everything as you go through, and it works just as good as Pore Liner. I have no problems with it. I did that on my 135th scale special coated Sazabi bust. Even though it is a painted body, it was pretty well resistant to doing what I do. I didn't take off too much paint, but it would take off if I was to go a little too aggressive with it. And it turned out great even with doing the Pore Liner marker. I mean, not doing the Sharpie marker. I should have done Pore Liner, or I should have also done something like Null Oil, but it came out fine, and I've had no issues with that. I tend to be a little bit more on the safe side nowadays, so I don't ruin any really expensive model kits, because I've been buying ones that I won't probably ever be able to get again. Something like the 8814, the 8826, the 6614, the Supernova Snow White Prelude, the Supernova regular color, the Supernova regular color Death Stinger, and I have a Nielsen Works Perfect Grade Red Frame Astray. Those are model kits that were on my will probably never get kit list, and unfortunately I did. Alcohol markers are actually really good. I actually use that. That's what this is right here. This is an alcohol silver pen, and I use that for darker colors. Another alcohol marker I also use is my gold pen. It's a Krylon 18 karat alcohol based gold leaf pen that I use when I want to do a gold. And they work really, really great, and they're mostly neutral, and you can do a lot with it. I mean, for example, I did most of this. Oil-based pens are also really good. I use a Sharpie oil-based pen for light blocking. Oh, yeah. I mean, this was all done just with my markers that I have on my desk. I did do a decent top coat, but I also did some touch-up work on it. Nothing too much to it other than just some oil-based Sharpie paint pens, a little bit of some of the acrylic paint I've got around the desk, and then my gold leaf and some silver pens. A little bit of top coat and some time, and just making sure everything looks great on it. I have a lupus. So I have the full mechanics Barbados. I have a high grade lupus rex, but they all pale in comparison to the actual best version of it, which unfortunately is a very expensive one, which is the Bandai Tamashii Nation Lupus Rex, which is a metal build, but damn is it nice. It's an $80 1/44 scale metal build, but it's the best rendition of the Lupus Rex that exists. Because the high resolutions are kind of crappy, even though they could be better. I've not done the Dragon Momoko ones myself yet. Heard they can be good, but I still find that the Tamashii Nation metal build is actually like the best rendition of it. But it's because they over-engineered it to hell. It has ratchet joints and all the fun stuff you would expect from something that costs a very premium cost. Yo, what up, Donette? The Snow White Prelude is fucking amazing. It's one of my favorite model kits. And I don't have to build it. I've built the previous version of it, and it's one of the best that you can get out there. Because I'm going to be doing a custom piece with the one that's going to be replacing. I'm going to finally retire my original Snow White. Not Snow White. My original SN Supernova at some point. I'm actually going to part it out since it is not in the best shape after what happened to it with the using the proto legs and stuff on it. I'm going to probably retire that model kit to the parts bin and take the wings and use them for a custom build, and then get the Snow White to take its place on the shelf, since it's a shadow of its former self. But I'm a bit out from doing this the Snow White Prelude still. I kind of want to get the 6614 done. The 6614 is one of the rarest Astrays out there. It's up there with the 8814. With the fact that it's only been released a couple times by Daban. The rarest blue frame being the actual Dragon Momoko third frame. One of the rarest. There are only a few examples that exist. And when they do get put into circulation, they go really high top dollar. The last time I saw they were running almost $250. But there is the conversion kit nowadays that you can get. It's not the best from Model 3, but it's at least acceptable, and you're not paying Dragon Momoko. Rare Dragon Momoko prices. Yes, I did see that you got them in. Yo, that's going to be sick. That's going to be fun. All right. It's been an awesome build so far. I have not had to do a lot of... I haven't had to do a lot of fixing. Things that have been fixed on it is because I have caused problems, not the model kit itself. I caused some of the parts not to fit correctly. I caused some of the fitment issues that I ran into because of the fact of doing what I'm doing. Other than that, I have not run into a lot of fitting issues. Everything's fit pretty well. I haven't run into a lot of re-drilling and resizing any pegs so far. It's been actually pretty decent. I like when I can say that because it means the kit's fairly well assembled. Been pretty well straightforward. Haven't had really too many parts that been looking at the manual like, the fuck, how does this go on? Pretty well straightforward so far. They run about 160 now on the Tamashii Nation metal build. I picked mine up for 80 when they first came out, but they're running about 160 now. And unfortunately, they're just going to go up because they are metal builds, and metal builds appreciate in value due to rarity and scarcity. Kind of the reason why I push the ban a lot, because they do metal build reprints. They really do a really bang-on job on doing disassembly and making a model kit out of a metal build. A lot of the guys who are know me are on the same boat as me. We are waiting for Bandai to finally let Daban get their greedy paws on the Dragonics and make a proper model kit of one of the coolest red frames that has come out in a long time. Because they did it with the gold frame, they did it with the powered red, they did it with the metal build Kai. I really want to see the Dragonics in a model kit format. The next thing I also need to get is, well, the pre-orders go open next week, because I'm going to probably get that on order for myself, is they have the high-grade, what is it called? Red Dragon is going to actually be available to the public of the U.S., and I am definitely going to be on there getting mine. I'd rather not pay $86 for a $40 model kit. I'd rather not pay double. I will pay, I'll come out to about 55-ish for a base limited kit that I've been wanting. I'm glad it's coming to the US. I just hate its P Bandai. And looking over. Red Maxwell, thank you for the likes. Sorry, take me a while on this back armor piece. It does not want to clean up well. Being a little bit of a pain. Oh, what is the top kit of all time? Oh, that's a hard one. And we're not talking scarcity. Oh, that is a hard one. Because surprisingly, there are two that make the top number one spot, with a third that falls behind. There are two in the number one, and there are two in the number two spot. So the two number ones I would pick is the 8814 red frame power red for the third parties. And then it goes to the wonderful real grade High New. The real grade High New was one of my favorite Bandai kits that we've done that have come out recently. Cannot speak more about how the High New was actually what I was expecting and what I wanted from a nice model kit that's like really well done. I had no problems putting a lighting kit in that. I had no problems with putting it together. And all the color separation and all the weird voodoo they made to make that fucker happen is amazing. Second would be for Bandai. There are two of them. That is the real grade Sazabi and the high grade Nightingale. The real grade Sazabi is the best rendition of the Sazabi, hands down. Color, articulation, and overall what you get out of the box is what you would want. Yes, you don't get the sniper rifle, but you can buy another one that works better for it. You get the shotgun, but you get the full articulation. He can hold the shotgun, he can do poses, but you also get the amazing, which I can grab it, it's right here. You also get the amazing particle effects. You don't get that. You do not get this with the Verka. The Verka does not get that. And thank you, AJ, for resubbing. Hell yeah. You do not get this. So that's where the Verka fails. It has bad articulation. It's a little out of proportion. And you don't get great particle beam effects. You do not get that with the Verka. The Verka is overpriced, in my opinion. You don't get the great color. You don't get a great articulation. I have taken that thing apart so many damn times, it's not even funny. And then the Nightingale blew me away for a high grade 2.0. I did not think they could fix all the issues that the Nightingale had with the Re-100 and make it really great. If they scaled up the high grade Nightingale to 100, you could call that a master grade. Hands down, yes, it doesn't have an inner frame, but you could call that a master grade and no one would fucking fault you on it. Well, we're not going to answer that one. Ooh. And I will be right back. That's what I'm calling. No, it's not. That is spam. Oh, not too bad. Blondie, what up? Bit cold, but home. No, that's good. I hear that about cold. It's cold outside where I'm at as well. I can't actually get it. It's on a shelf way high up. I do have a video of it on the channel itself. It's a little bit further down, but I did do a full review of it at one point. Mine's just up on a shelf that I'm not going to go mess with because there's some pretty pricey Gundams on that one. I do not want to knock them over. I used to keep that one closer to the desk, but well, I did change a lot of things up recently. People are alive. Run for your lives. Right. Stop to say hi before heading out. Taking Joe. Birthday parties. Yo. More parties, Blondie. More parties. And for those who don't know, we are live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. So if I'm not talking directly to you, it's because the other chats are going as well, and I am trying to keep up with everybody. Nah, you're good, dude. I just, it's not one of the ones I keep near the desk. It's one of the more pricey Gundams I like to have showed off. And mostly finished projects from recently go onto the actual shelf near me. I'm trying to get these moved off so that way I can get some of the newer stuff rolling in from time to time. And also trying to make it so only the strays are up on the top shelf again. But yeah, slowly that will be. I need to get more shelves for the office and or also make more flight stands. It's just firing up the old printer and making some model kit flight stands. But also, we need a trustworthy and good filament for it. The one I've been currently working with, I don't think is good enough for doing flight stands. It has issues. They're worried that I will get sick. You'll be okay. Just keep yourself bundled up because that cold weather isn't supposed to be going nowhere so fast. Do you have the Gundam Red Frame? Do I have the Gundam Red Frame? Yes, I do, actually. I have just about every single one that exists. There's only, like, a couple I don't have. I have the metal build. He's actually in front of me. I'm just not going to get up and go grab him because he's pretty heavy, and I don't like moving him too much. It is a third-party one. It is a Metal Bear Red Frame metal build. Pretty hard to come by. There was only one run of them. They're running about 200 nowadays, but it has the flight pack. It's really nice. But Red Frame. I also have Big Boy Red Frame and another Red Frame over in the kitchen area. Plus, I have the Big Boy behind me, my Blue Frame, perfect grade, second revision, with tactical arm and rocket launchers. That was an endeavor to build. That was a lot. Not the biggest fan of the perfect grade Red Frame. But that Blue Frame came with so many parts, I just had to go and do everything. Plus, that was a sponsored build. Which I have not heard back from Kingdom in a fortnight. I'm not too worked up about it. His selection's kind of gotten a little bit watered down lately. I haven't been really finding anything I've been looking for in a while. The 8807, I don't know that one. Let's see. And 8807. Which one are you? The Mars jacket? No, I have not. I wish. That's one of the last ones I need. It's one of the last red frames I need. One of the last. I have not had the cash for it yet. I had to get a... Technically, I probably will be able to get it with Christmas money coming up later in December, maybe. I always do get a decent amount for... Now that's probably woman. Yep. 1 minute in a momento. 1 sec. Back to streaming. I have just about all of them. I even have the Infinity. Oh, come here, Infinity. Oh, boy. I just got the real grade. I'm actually going to be doing a custom thing with that. But this was one that took me forever to find complete. These things get vandalized a lot. The Gundam Infinity get vandalized to the point where this sword is always missing. You might have the fake one, but you don't always get the actual katana. And it took me a long time to track down one where it actually had the sword in it in my area. And that thing was a bitch to find. Grabbed it as soon as I saw that it had both katanas with it. I'm like, yes! Been trying my ass to get one in the complete format. If the Universe figurines ever get a red frame, I'll probably pick it up. I'm not the biggest fan of the Universe figures. Not my cup of tea, really. They're very basic action figures. That one, red frame. I do have the inversion. I need to get the M1, which is the Gundam Astray M1 Astray. It is the precursor to the Gundam Astray. And then I want to get a flight pack version of the high grade. I'm also going to be pre-ordering next week a Red Dragon Astray high grade. It's actually really good. Also, since I'd rather not pay the price of buying another freaking master grade red frame Red Dragon ever again in my lifetime. Cough, cough, $270 for a goddamn Bandai, for a P Bandai model kit. Kind of why I wish I could find another Turn Red. I'm missing some parts on my Turn Red. My Turn Red's missing the backpack adapters for the tactical arms, but finding another Turn Red will be a nightmare. I don't remember where I put them. They might be in the garage. I don't remember. It might be in my extra parts bin. Oh, SDs, I love SDs. They're fun. I don't have an SD red, but I do have quite a few. Especially one of them that I just put up on the shelf. I have the Metal Build Nightingale SD, which I picked up for, it was like $60 when I bought it, but it was like the best version of the Nightingale you could pick up for the time being. But I do like SDs. They're fun. Converges, actually, yeah, that's actually one of my favorites. This was purchased for my birthday from Leo Fur. And this is one of my more unique small Gundams. It is the Power Loader Astray. Not the Powered Red, the Power Loader. Quite pricey, and this was never supposed to come to the US. Big Bad Toy Store had a few. And thanks to Leo, I actually got one of these. And these are super rare. I mean, that has the weirdest manual you can ever see. And it's a Converges Gunpla. They are Gachapon in name, but that is a very rare model kit. Once those are gone, they were never meant to be in the US ever. Once they're gone, they're going to be gone forever. With the full Tang Turbo 150 as well is what was really cool about that thing. Yeah, dude, no, that thing is the weirdest model kit I've ever. There are no instructions on it. You have pictographs. That's about it, and everything else is in Japanese. And it is super probably never was supposed to be in the U.S. because it is not localized at all. And from what I could see, it was P Bandai and was not supposed to be US. Oh, I do. I have yours as well. I have not gotten to it because I have been super busy. Yes, I still do have it. I need to get it started soon. Might be the next kit on the docket if I feel like doing another Fun Boy, because I have it sitting right by me so I don't get it... so it doesn't get damaged, because those... Oh, man. Yes, AJ. Yours was one that's amazing, too, because I did not think I was going to get my hands on one of those. The high-resolution kits, they're always... The red frame's actually one of the best versions of the high-resolution. They're actually fairly decent. They don't age nearly as bad as some of the other high-resolution model kits. Those are also ones that are super rare because once they're out of print, they don't make them again. That is also what's really cool about some of these more rare. Red Frame has some of the rarest model kits that exist. In the entire Gundam universe, Red Frame has some of the rarest model kits that you can find. You have stuff like the 8814, which is a super rare powered red. The actual metal build that belongs to it. Then you have things like the Red Dragon Astray. They run $270 a pop. The Mars Jacket, which are very rare. What other one is also super rare? Oh, God, I even have most of them. The high-resolution kits, which are going to be starting to get more rare. The base resolution kit's already going up in price like crazy. God, my brain never remembers that. The Nielsen Works Astrays are some of the rarest model kits in the world. Then you also have the Motor King Astray Busts, which are not rare, but they are hard to come by. Oh, that's the other reason why I like AJ. Is like I want to make sure that thing doesn't have issues, and I'm going to make sure it goes together well. I also got to get the decals for it because they give stickers instead of actual water slides. Also another reason why it's been being held off. I'd rather it look good, not... how can I put it in a good way? I want it to look good and not looking like I put a bunch of little sticker decals on it. I did that with my original, and it looks okay, but it can look so much better with real decals. But that's the weird thing, that Astray comes from a side manga. But it has some of the rarest model kits and some of the best model kits that exist. And I've built just about every model kit there is in the main Bandai line for the most part. And when it comes down to the best quality, Red Frames have been some of the best ones I've ever done. I don't know what it is, but I was so hoping we would get a Katoki Red Frame model kit. Finally. I was hoping that Katoki would get his hands and we would not get another Zeta for a Verka. I was really excited that maybe we would get a Red Frame Verka. But that sucks that we didn't. I think I already explained it over my 20-minute rant about Red Frame. Oh, man. The Mark II, nice. The Red Frame Astray has been one of my favorite model kits. I don't know what it is. It's that appeal of it being just insane. Whatever you can think of, the Red Frame would be able to counter. And that's actually the lore behind the Red Frame, is that the pilot actually goes and actually makes his model kit, his mobile suit better every time that he loses or has a defeat. Goes back, readjusts, and then also just can't keep his filthy hands off everybody's tech. Low Gear just sits there and steals from everyone. And when someone steals from him, he makes sure to go and steal right back. It's actually where he gets the double katana from. The Kai gets the Tiger Pierce after the Turn Red is defeated, and his victory prize was stealing the Tiger Pierce from the Turn Red. After winning. Kind of took a consolation prize for beating the crap out of the Turn Red. And really, the only mobile suits that even in lore and in canon would be even like close to fighting the actual Red Frame Astray, because of the actual implications of the technology in it, is the Amatsumina Amaterasu and the Lotus Stray, but those are barely even able to even touch it. And maybe Mirage, if it got in close. And that's if he only brings half of his weapons with him. Because actually right now, the Dragonix is actually more powerful than, I think, the Amaterasu. With it now having the even more empowered Drag Helm. With the Dragonix field now being even more powered from what the lore has been stated. Zaku's, I have plenty of Zaku's. Actually, my Monoizer, all on one shelf, I have mostly stuff from, what is it called? Unicorn. Mostly Zulus are the best because they've got the iconography from the, what's it called? From Unicorn itself, but I do have a Type C. It's one of my favorite high grades that you can buy. It has all the weapons that you could ever do on it. And I do have a perfect grade Zaku 2 that I need to get working on at some point. The problem is it's half built, and I need to go back through and redo everything on it. And it's an older perfect grade, so unfortunately means it's very complicated. There's a lot of springs and screws that all have to be counted and inventoried to make sure that I don't lose them on reassembly after doing a complete cleanup. The guy who gave it to me bought it thinking it was a just a new old stock box, but instead somebody had half built the kit. And unfortunately, that means everything has to be redone. There are 1/4 inch gates on just about, well, 1/8 inch gates on every part. Someone had put it together like to dry fit it and didn't clean anything up. So it's all pretty rough. I mean, I have to carefully disassemble and reassemble all the parts. Last time I inventoried it, all parts were present and available. It's just getting back in there and actually digging in through the kit, taking the arms, legs. I don't think they built the chest, but they did build the head back apart, cleaning up, sanding, and then getting everything retouched back up for further processing down the line, because I do want to do some metal parts and also doing a full wiring harness for it. May even get the heat hot going. It all depends on the size and scale of it. Things of that scale, usually you can do things you can't do with normal model kits. Is Death Scythe Hell cool? Yes, I have Death Scythe Hell itself. It's technically in storage at the moment. I didn't have room for it. I need to get it back out, get it set back up. I also have Death Scythe Hell Dragon Momoko. It's one of my favorites. Death Scythe Rui set's okay. It's just an EW with an add-on. I really hate that it's a P Bandai kit itself. It's an okay model kit. Just a EW with an add-on, which is common with almost all the Glory of the Loser kits. They're just EW add-ons, especially the Tall Geese Flugel. Not the biggest fan of it. Gonna be doing something close and similar to it later on, but that's because I've got some really fun stuff planned later on. I like the idea of the Flugel, but I did not like the fact that it's just basically a EW with the EW terrible wings. Zeke, I've said it like 3 times. It's red. It's red frame. It's red frame astray. Nice. Death Scythe was always cool. I was always more partial to Hero with the wing, but then I've moved on to red frame because I don't know. I guess red frame's my spirit animal. He carries a big giant fuck off great sword, and I guess that's the whole reason why I like it. Even though my first red frame was the Sengoku, but really what drew me in was the red frame Kai when it first came out. I really wanted that, and I was like, yes. And then the turn red came out, and I'm like, yes. What's better than 1 tactical arm? How about 2? But I need to go back and retouch up my turn red. The Turn Red has not had a lot of love from me. It was one of the earliest model kits I'd picked up. No, you're fine, dude. Shall did not realize how serious the story was. Oh, dude, and that is really how it gets you, isn't it? Uh, yeah, you go back and you rewatch it. I mean, I know people keep saying that Wing's so boring, Wing's so terrible. It's like, yeah, try watching any others of the Gundam shows and tell me they're. If you're only watching it for battles, I mean, you're not watching Gundam properly. They're always been and always have and always will be very political. They got a narrative and they're going to tell you about it. Oh, and it's going to be a long, drawn out thing. I mean, there was a ton of that in IBO as well. I just think people didn't realize that was what was going on. Yo, nice. Get those monitors up, Leo. Time check, 11:26. Cool. Got about a half hour left. So, let's try to make it count, shall we? No, not at the moment. This is just a snap together with the lighting kit. I don't do a whole lot of painting. I do mostly custom lighting. This one's getting a full lighting harness. Every clear piece on this unit has an LED going to it more than likely. So, like, this thing lights up, the head lights up, all the shoulders are going to be lighting up, the backpack lights up, the legs are going to light up, the side skirts all light up. Painting's just not a thing that I'm not the best at. I've tried recently to get my airbrush going. That didn't work out too well. Ow. So I mostly do my own custom work by doing the lighting kits. I do certain touch-ups and yeah, I do certain things with paint, but not always do I do a whole painting idea. I've watched through Iron Blood and Orphans at least once. The story was okay. I've never latched onto it like some people have. Some people just get latched onto IBO like it's the godsend of Gundam. It's a good story. Is it the best story? It's okay. I'm not the biggest IBO fan. It was good for what it was. It was a very visceral romp through the Gundam universe. Really, I'm partial to Wing and Double O. Double O was actually pretty good, except for second season kind of sucked. And Unicorn was okay, but I hate Benager. He's such a freaking cliche. It's like plot armor here, plot armor there. Benager, Benager, Benager. Yes, I agree. I just hate the power scaling on Barbados. Everyone wants to put Barbados up there with, like, some of the more powerful Gundams, and it's like, it's not... Unless you give it overpowered plot armor, which they did give to it throughout the entire series. But compared to some of the other powerhouse Gundams, I mean, it is very low tier compared to some of the other powerhouses. Just to do to how with little armament it did have, and the sheer amount of weaponry and protection it had. And And it's funny too because that's actually where it's like I laugh at watching. I've tried to go watch Seed. Seed gets very laughable fairly quickly. I think we made it about 6 episodes in since we were watching as a group, and it just gets very formulaic very quickly. I really wish there is a God. It's not a pilot. Everyone likes to remind me that, but it feels like a pilot. There are two mini-sodes of Red Frame Blue and Red Frame Red. I mean, Gundam Astray Red and Gundam Astray Blue that were made. There was some kind of promotional material for something, but they were really well done, and I really wish they would have just done a full anime of Astray because it would have gave off a really good Zoid slash kind of close to something more enjoyable, kind of more of a modern anime vibe. Just with the attitudes of like Low and some of the other characters. And I've already read through the first chapter, well, the first manga book in the Astray series, and he does well on lore building, and it does take a bit of time to get started, but it wasn't really that bad. I actually really got involved into it. And right now I'm trying to track down the second book in the series is a nightmare. I can find number 3, but I cannot get number 2 at all. I've already been burned once trying to get Gundam Astray versus Seed versus Astray Volume 2 is a nightmare to find in the English translated book. And there is no read online for it. I wish there was a read online for the first volume of the Astray series. Everything else has some Type R, Seed X. So Astray X, Seed, Astray Type R, all have their read online material. So I can read, and all the side stories to Astray, because Astray also, as a side story, has side stories. All are online, and you can read them. Just the first 3 books aren't online, and it's just so stupid. Makes it really hard to go like, I love this, but I can't recommend people to read it because it's so hard to get your hands on. The books run like $10 to $20 a piece if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, they can run pretty high. And going on to like, since we've already been on that topic before, favorite suits. So also favorite antagonist suit would be something like the Sinanju. I like the way they went with it. I wasn't really the big fan of the Sazabi. Sazabi's cool. It looks all right. But the Sinanju did everything. If the Sinanju had like the Vargil's, if you were to give Sinanju Vargil's funnel rack or even Sazabi's funnel rack, it would be more powerful. But the speed of Sinanju is what gives it, the sheer speed Sinanju has is what makes it so overpowered. With that backpack and everything. But if it was to somehow have like a subset of funnels with it, it would be a very overpowered NTD suit. Sazabi being a lot slower than new was kind of the downfall of Sazabi. I am lovely turning purple. Doing well for still only having a half hour left, so. And I haven't watched Witch for Mercury. I'm going to wait for the whole series to come out before I make any judgment or try to watch it. With it being only subbed, I actually have to pay attention to it. So I can't just have it on and try to listen in and just kind of sit back and watch. I got to actually pay attention to it because unfortunately I don't speak Japanese. So I have to be more attentive to it, and it kind of sucks that is how it is. Means I can't just casually watch it. And I find I pay a lot more attention if I'm just casually watching, surprisingly. I may not pick up on everything, but I'm at least enjoying myself. And if I miss something, I'm able to go back and watch it, but fortunately with sub, I gotta sit here and actually go and watch. So I'm gonna wait for the whole series to come out and then just binge watch it like I would normally do. I'm interested in the not high resolution, the full mechanics aerial coming out. I don't know how they're doing some of the stuff that they think they're doing on it. Especially with the artwork and the release images being CGI renders from what the small description in the corner says on that thing in Japanese that you have to then use Google Translate unless you actually read Japanese. You'll understand that it says this is a CGI render, not final product. And it's like, great job. Lying to your customer base still, Bandai. You already do that enough with the with the professional model kit versions being on the freaking cover art. Why not use a CG rendition of the model kit that you're supposed to be selling soon? I do kind of feel underhanded on Bandai doing that, because that feels very... They have not thought through the process that they're doing so far on the aerial. Because a CG render is like the very first step in getting that model kit started. Whoa, why did that do that? Neat. Had a good rolling conversation going for a while now. That was fun. Can you stop doing that stupid thing? Oh man. My leg is cramping up like there is no tomorrow because I am stupid and my leg hates me. It's like, oh, I heard you were going running again. Well, let's cramp up for you so that way you hurt like crazy because you think you're doing good, boyo. Okay, just gotta keep my sticky fingers off all the white parts. Or as known as, that is the hardest thing about doing this. Okay. How's it going with the kit? Pretty good. Long time, man. What up? Mr. Smooth, how's life? It could be better. Could be worse, too. But it could be better. And this thing's been pretty good so far. Most of the wiring's already done. Just trying to get the armor pieces on and get them detailed up. Just a long, drawn-out process, but it's so much easier to do it the way I do it because by the time I'm done, I don't have to deal with it later on. And decaling instead of taking forever because I'm also doing detailing at the same time. Just throw on the decals and go for it. So, could be worse, could be better. This is the Supernova Hunting Falcon. It's one of their newest ones. It is not based on any direct model kit from Bandai. It is their kind of own rendition where they took aspects from Wing and Seed and kind of merged them together. It's a very old feeling kit with very good fitment so far. But it is a very old school feeling kit. There's not a lot of surprise pieces. It's a very, yeah, that's kind of an old technique. Yep, that's kind of an old technique. That's a little bit different, but that's a very old and very well used technique when it comes to putting things together. Very Master Grade 1.0 feeling kit, not Master Grade 2.0. But so far pretty well undergated and pretty well put together. Haven't really had to do any adjustments to fitment or tighten anything up so far. It's all been pretty decently tight. Joints feel great. Haven't had really too many issues with it. Oh, I'm enjoying the day. It's cold outside. It's not hot. I don't have the AC running. It's nice. Finishing up a mobile suit that trying to get close to finishing up a mobile suit that I've been working on for a while now. So I can finally see all the lights on it once. But we still got a long ways to go. We got 4 funnels to do after this, and they are going to take a while. Now, I've been quite absent lately, but it's because I'm trying to focus on myself at the moment and try to get myself back to where I want to be. And so far, it's working out pretty well. call it a sabbatical. Basically taking time for myself. And I will say it's helping. Do I use for pen lining? I use Sharpies. They're actually my favorite way of doing it because it's controllable. Yeah, you get messy because you got to get your hands in there. But with a little bit of skill and a lot of patience, you can too learn to pen line with Sharpie. Someone had told me it in passing, and it actually came down to me destroying a third-party Supernova high wing, Supernova wing custom with pore liner, and because of the fact that Supernova likes to use a lot of ABS, that the acetone in the pore liner ate the ABS plastic. I mean, it completely destroyed it. I ended up losing that model kit to ABS intrusion. And it just was crumbling in my hands because I had done like the entire legs, waist, and some other parts, and they were just crumbling to pieces. And I have been told in passing that Sharpie will work as pen liner, and it's more neutral. It is neutral to plastics because it's just a alcohol-based ink indelible pen, and I use it for all my model kits because it's a little bit more controllable. You've got more control with using the tips. You can get most of your lines a lot harder, and with indelible being very susceptible to, it doesn't stain. It's more the fact that it latches onto the plastic fairly decent, and it doesn't what's the best word to say? It's not impossible to get rid of, but it fills those lines really, really well. So it's very nice on holding the line work. And you can still use a white eraser to remove it. So it's not even that, it's much different than pore liner. It just takes a little bit of practice to get used to doing it. It does require you to use alcohol and Q-tips, but it works out great. And looking up. Thanks to the host. Thank you, EK Mikey. Walmart here at home, right? Walmart here I come. Ah, okay. Yeah, no, dude, I like them. I have had no issues. 99% alcohol is what I use for it. It helps get rid of it helps take the liner off really, really easy, and I've had no issues. I have done so many kits lately. I even do it with my Bandai ones because it's just so much more. It's so much more controllable. I've had problems in the past with pour liners where it's like you put it on, doesn't stay. You try to fix it, doesn't stay. The Sharpie, for the most part, once it's on, unless you take it off, it ain't going nowhere. I mean, the worst part you got to watch out for is red and white kits because your fingerprints show up a lot if you get some on your hands. And then you have to go back and retouch up, which, like what I'm doing right now, is retouching everything back up. Go over and back up. Clear coat, not usually. Unless I'm doing something special, like painting and or something completely out my usual range. I don't clear coat because it can cause problems. The Sharpie won't like clear coat nearly as much. If you do clear coat over Sharpie, do a very light initial coat on it, then go ham afterwards, because what will happen is you will eat the exothermic reaction will cause your panel lines to bleed. So you want to do a very light coat, then go ham later. Or your panel lines will bleed and you'll probably have runs. Yeah, it's the exothermic, and I usually use an acrylic base. If I'm just doing over plastic, I use acrylic. Mr. Hobby, it's not super clear. Oh, I don't remember which one it is, but I use Mr. Hobby. I like his clear coat. It is my favorite to use. The acrylic, God, it's either not Mr. Premium. I don't like Mr. Premium. Mr. Premium's enamel, so it's Mr. Super Clear, and that's an acrylic top coat, which is really nice because it's not too harsh on the plastic, and you can strip it back down pretty easily on bare plastic without causing any deformation to the surface. I've always had good luck with Mr. Hobby Super Clear. I like a semi-gloss myself. I'm not a gloss fan, and I don't really like matte finish, so I like going with semi-gloss. It's not quite matte, and it's not quite gloss, and kind of the best of both worlds. Glove for one, for when handling pictures work well. I wish I had the dexterity for that. I have a problem where I don't have enough dexterity if I wear gloves. I really wish I was a little bit more dexterous. Let me actually use a fine tip on that. And don't be afraid to try third-party model kits. They are not nearly as bad as all the people on TikTok will tell you. I don't know why there's such a stigma towards it. This is third-party. I've had 0 issues lately. And my print has been really, really good. And you know what? Bandai wants to yell at me. They could have yelled at me already because they already follow me. So, I mean, shit, they could tell me to stop doing it and cease and desist. And I have gotten not a single thing from them. It was even kind of how it was funny. It's actually why they followed me. I was asked, I sat there and blatantly told them in a freaking video. I was like, yeah, you know, Bandai would never follow me. They wanted to know why. And I said, because I'm the third party king. No, loose connection on that. I don't know why that's doing that today. Yeah, right. Nope. I guess we'll get that part on, and then we'll work on the knees next time, I guess, because I am nowhere near done. But I need to get off because wifey should be getting home in a few. I'd like to get things ready. Kind of my fault for not going as quickly because I was answering everybody's questions today, and at one point just would not shut up on the rant. Get me started on red frame, and I'm going to start talking till I stop being able to breathe. Check that one's seated well. It's about the same. Alright, guess we will stop there for the time being, and we will come back to this a little later. Not too bad. Got most of it done. It's just getting all those little parts in. Still a lot to go left on it. It's kind of a seed, kind of a wingish kit. Very old style of how it they do a lot of their parts from back in the day. Very Master Grade 1.0. But I am all out of time for today. Thank you everyone for watching today. Thank you everyone on TikTok and on Twitch. It's been a long day. For me at least. I've been up since 4, so. I'm gonna go get things ready, washed up, and waiting for wifey to come home. I will maybe try to pick this up tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. I'm currently still trying to kind of get myself back to 100%. I'm about at 50. Feeling okay-ish. But that's trying to take care of myself for once and not try to do too much. That's kind of my biggest issue. But thank you everyone for watching. I will see everyone tomorrow, maybe. Thank you, and bye-bye.